am Dr. Aparna. I am your emotional healing synergist. That is, I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist, a passionate infopreneur, edupreneur, and medical writer. I am on a pursuit of my mission to address, promote, and propagate Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally. In this discourse, today, I'll be answering a few frequently asked questions to me on Ayurvedic psychotherapy. To begin with an interesting fact that Lord Sri Krishna is the first and the best psychotherapist this planet has ever seen. So, continuing with this, and I will talk about the Bhagavad-Gita and psychotherapy related aspects in the coming sessions. So today's topic is Ayurvedic psychotherapy. Before beginning to start, I just wanted to emphasize on Ayurveda a little bit. So, as you all know, that the Ayurveda does not only add years to the life, it also believes in adding life to the years. That means it is both qualitative and has a quantitative approach as well. It is both. So we have already, I have already many a times, repeated this shloka, that is swastasya swastya rakshanam, aturasya vyadhi parimokshanam. So the essence of Ayurveda is to prevent and protect the health of healthy individuals and to wipe out a disease from its root cause. That is, to detect the pathogenesis and to wipe out the disease. So, this is the essence of Ayurveda. Then, what is health? And before coming to what is the role of manas in Ayurveda, so what is health in Ayurveda? So, Ayurveda says samadosha, samagnischa, samadhatu, malakriyaha, prasanna, atma, indriya, manaha, swasta ityabhidhyate. Samadosha. There are three doshas in Ayurveda. So, Ayurveda is mainly based on the three theories: Tridoshas, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha; three gunas or Manasa gunas, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas; and Pancha Mahabhutas. If you can see at the back side, it is not completely visible, but the Pancha Mahabhutas are air, fire, water, land, and sky. So these are the Pancha Mahabhuta. So Ayurveda is based on this. The dynamic balance of Tridoshas, Trigunas, and Pancha Mahabhutas is actually the essence of health. So Samadosha, Sama Agni, the balance of digestive fire. If the digestive fire is proper, functioning of the digestive fire, because every problem arises from the gut. So, Ayurveda believes that if Sama Agni, if the digestive fire is proper, and the Sama Dhatus means the tissues, bodily tissues, like blood tissue, lymphatic tissue, all the other tissues like that. There are seven tissues: muscular tissues, and the reproductive tissues. All these tissues, if they are in a normal condition, samadhosha, samadhatu, samagni. So, and malas, all your excreta, if the excreta is, there is a proper excretion process in the body, malakriyaha. So, prasanna, atma. Atma is soul. Soul also has an importance in Ayurveda. I will talk about this in some other session. Indriya is the sense organs. So it may be the five sense organs, and if the proper functioning of sense organs, Indriya, Atma, Indriya, Manaha. Manaha is mind here. And this is the major topic we are concentrating here, mind. Today's topic is mind. So, mind, all the balance of all these is called swastha. That means healthy individuals. That means Ayurveda says Ayurveda, as much as it is physical, it is psychological as well. So, Ayurveda actively deals with all the psychosomatic issues or concerns. So, mind has an important place in Ayurveda or important role to play. So, the frequently asked questions, let me start with the frequently asked questions. So, this is the introduction part. So, what is the frequently, for me, a frequently asked question is, what is Ayurvedic psychotherapy? So here, of course, Ayurvedic psychotherapy is a coined term. Okay, and there is psychiatry in Ayurveda. We call it as Bhuta Vidya, and psychotherapy in Ayurveda is termed as Sattvavajaya Chikitsa or ManoRoga Chikitsa or Manovikara Chikitsa, because we call mind as Manas in Ayurveda. So, what is Sattva Avajaya? It means Sattva Avajaya is triumphing the mind with purity, positivity, with intelligence, all the factors, all these factors, triumphing the mind and avoiding Ahita Artha. Ahita Artha is unwholesome objects or distractions. And Manonigraha plays an important role in Ayurveda. Manonigraha is controlling the mind. So, this controlling the mind, and this is Ayurvedic psychotherapy, Sattvavajaya Chikitsa, when it comes to the term. So how does a person treat, like how, what principles I use? It is the same, the tridosha, triguna, and panchamahabhuta, all these three. Like if the mind is also healthy, when tridoshas, that is vata, pitta, kapha, and trigunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and panchamahabhutas, the dynamic balance of these three is also the secret to a steady mind, as it is a secret to the steady physique or physical fitness or physical wellness, saying so. So what is the what is the Ayurvedic psychotherapy that I practice? So I practice all these Ayurvedic principles which is given, matlab, the Sattvavajaya Chikitsa. And when it comes to psychotherapy, I also combine the modern psychotherapy aspects such as cognitive behavioral therapy, neurolinguistic programming, mind mapping, and many other such techniques. So what I do basically is I make use of both Ayurveda and psychotherapy. So I have I am doing it as Ayurvedic psychotherapy using all the principles. I usually believe in integrated approach. See, if we have an integrated approach, that is use our traditional and modern methods to treat a disease or to wipe out from its root cause. As physical, mind also needs, while we are doing talking about mind, we also need to find out the root cause or the pathogenesis of a disease as equally as when it comes to the mind as well. So it is both. This is what Ayurvedic psychotherapy I use, and what is the approach that I follow. I follow a 95% non pharmacological approach because I believe that many of the mental illnesses can be treated through, you know, um, this like counseling and therapies, talk therapies, counseling, the cognitive behavioral therapy, and the psychodynamic psychotherapy, and all the Ayurvedic principles, Sattvavajaya Chikitsa also. By this, we can treat most of the, I have treated most of the cases at least. And 5% I use Ayurvedic medicines whenever it is absolutely essential, that is we cannot go without medicines, only then I use the medicines. This is, completely the approach which I follow. And people usually ask me, when uh, should I approach a doctor, like I hesitate to approach a psychotherapist, or when, what are the signs when should I approach a psychotherapist. So because people hesitate whenever, I have talked about this earlier as well, but whenever a person has a problem with his gut, or with his any other concerns, like if you have a fever or abdominal pain, or any of such concerns, we generally prefer going to a doctor. But you, if you have a concern with your mental health, if you're not feeling okay, if you're feeling depressed, if you're not energetic to or do all your work, and if you feel like you're not healthy from inside, I think you need to approach a psychotherapist. Because treat a mental illness as equal as a physical, physical illness. Don't just underestimate or ignore the mental health signs. So I am going to read out a few list of mental health signs as well, that whatever you can, why when why you should, when you should approach, like Ayurvedic, when you should approach Ayurveda. So I like psychotherapy and Ayurveda. So the symptoms could be, I'm going to read out just a few symptoms, like illogical thinking, nervousness or anxiety, apathy or loss of drive, declining in functioning at school, workplace. Yeah, your function declines. Major or yeah, withdrawal from interests, relationships, or social responsibilities. Heightened sensitivity, changes in the sleep patterns or appetites. Positive, problems thinking with your cognition, problems with your cognition as well. Okay. Whether it is problems in you, you're experiencing a high end problems with memorizing things, you're forgetting things, that is also a sign to approach, a psychotherapist or a doctor accordingly. Like you can, for some concerns, you can just approach a psychologist, psychotherapist, or for a major mental health concern, you can approach a psychiatrist as well. So talking, as I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist, my emphasis would be on the on that subject. So the next point I would like to talk about is, what exactly is the role of manas and the concept of manas. See, in the concept of manas, mind in Ayurveda, it can be simply classified, like into three things. That is dhi. Dhi is intellect. Dhriti is processing, the processing of the information. Smriti is remembering. Dhi, Dhriti, and Smriti. So, if the three are normal, that is your intellect, and how, what is the cause of this? Is I'm coming to the cause of mental disease in Ayurveda. So, what is the cause of it? Cause for it. So, Dhi, Dhriti, Smriti, Vibramsha. So, when your intellect, the processing, the processing of the information, or the cognition part and the memory part. If you are remembering it very well earlier, and if you have a problem with it now, it may be temporary or long term or whatever. This is the major cause. Like, and then there are many mind, if the mind is clutter free, you can function better and better. So here we'll see how do we, how do we keep the mind clutter free. That is manonigraha. Self control is much talked about, like mind control is much talked about in Ayurveda. So manas is so as I said, manas is mind in Ayurveda. And then, so what is manas? So the word meaning of the manas is, could be is mana gyane. So what does mind do? It is to think or analyze. Oh, you might feel why this is necessary for us. Because it is necessary for us to, to get rid out from the root cause. So I am going through all these things so that you can, just refix your thinking. And if we know the basics of it, no, it would be easy. That's why I am explaining it to you, because if these things are clear, then you can approach Ayurveda as well. Your approach to Ayurveda changes. This is my attempt in changing people's approach to Ayurveda. Because I just want to elaborate that Ayurveda is as evidence based as any other medical system, or more so. So how? Ayurveda says that manas is, the word mana is derived from to think and analyze. What does the mind do? To think, to analyze, to process the information. It, when it takes the stimuli, it processes the information, the cognition part, and the response. All these things are done by the manas only. So manyate avabudhyate anena iti manaha. So the entity which is responsible for contemplation and thinking and processing is known as manas in Ayurveda. So mind serves as an important instrument. Mind actually serves as an important instrument in the process of perceiving knowledge. See, modern psychologists also have defined the word manas as the totality of conscious and unconscious mental processes and activities of the organism or individual. So, manas has an important role to play. So, according to the doctrine of yoga, so what does yoga says about mana? See, in the, Mahabharata as well, there is a reference to mana, where Arjuna asks Krishna that chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramati bala balabahudrudam. So balavaddrudam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sadushkramam. So he asked, mana is, very chanchala. How can we, control our mind? So Krishna explains to him. I'll just elaborate this in other session. But it started from the age of the they started thinking of mind and its functions. It is not, my friends, it come as 200 or 300 years ago. It is from 10,000 years ago at least. From the, you know they started thinking. And so vrittis of, see, there are some vrittis mentioned, chitta vrittis, that is, according to yoga. So, what are the vrittis? Is pramana, right knowledge or knowledge related to facts. Viparyaya, wrong knowledge or false conception. Vikalpa, imagination or fancy. Nidra, sleep. And smriti, memory. So, pramana, it includes valid states of perception, inference, and belief based on direct cognition, inference, and testimony. So, pramana, this, all this what I'm reading out, chitta vrittis, is actually the functioning of the brain, how it can function. What are the, like in what ways it can function. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smriti. Nidra and smriti. So viparyaya, it is the knowledge of unreal or false conception of a thing whose real form does not correspond to it. Vikalpa is an image conjured up by words without any substance behind it. Nidra, it is the modification of mind which is based on absence of any content in it, that is the feeling of emptiness. See, the Nidra also plays a very important role in your physical and mental health. So, get proper sleep. Nidra also plays a very important role. So Smriti is memory. I think most of you people know it is not allowing an object to escape which has been experienced previously, or it is a recollection of the object through the impressions left behind the previous experience. So, Manas, has a very important role to play. So, what is like the different qualities of mind? Atharva Veda also describes, interestingly, the qualities of mind in concise form. That is manase, manasa, manana. That is to analyze. Chetase, chetana, consciousness. Chintana is thinking. Dhiye, dhyana, attention. Sankalpa, determination. Samvega, emotions, control of emotions. And Smarana, recollection. Buddhi, intellect or intelligence. Shravana and Patana, hearing and learning. And maybe processing also you can take. Darshana, perception. So all these things, from including from Mahabharata to yoga, to Atharva Veda. Actually, Ayurveda is called the Upaveda of Atharva Veda. So all these, are mentioned in, all the mind has given importance in all of these, in our Vedas, in Mahabharata, also in Ayurveda. Ayurveda is actually modern than those era. So, what are the objects of manas? When I'm talking of this manas, it is the same what I'm talking about. Chintya, Vicharya, Uhya, Dheya, Sankalpya. And there is one more thing called Yat Kinchit Manaso Jnanam Tat Sarvam Hi Artha Sanyakam. So, Chintya is the object of thinking. Mind is the object of thinking. Vicharya, mind is the object of analysis or consideration. Who here, mind is the object of reasoning and speculation. Dheya, mind is the object of concentration and or meditation. Sankalpa, mind is the object of determination or definite intention. Yatkinchit manaso jnanam is whatever is left of the processing and the cognition and all functions are carried out by manas. It includes all other objects not mentioned and come under its jurisdiction. So there are some other subtle like Ayurveda, explores life and all its layers. This is an interesting thing. I think I gave the answer for what is the concept of mind and manas in Ayurveda. So the last question for today I'm gonna answer is, what is emotional metamorphosis? People ask me this very much. I am frequently asked this question by my clients and our viewers. So for you, yes, this metamorphosis word, I first, was impressed by the metamorphosis of a butterfly. That is how the butterfly metamorphoses, that is transforms into egg, larva, pupae, caterpillar, and a butterfly. So in the similar way, emotional metamorphosis, when we integrate it with the mind and our emotions, so emotional metamorphosis is a mental discipline, a transformational mental discipline that can be developed over a period of time, for achieving emotional wisdom. So emotional intelligence, many of you might have heard emotional intelligence is the emotions which you express, becoming aware of the emotions, that is emotional intelligence. If you combine emotional intelligence and if you develop emotional metamorphosis, then it gives rise to emotional wisdom. We are all work in progress to attain that emotional wisdom. So, my map out would be emotional intelligence plus emotional metamorphosis is equal to emotional wisdom. So, this is metamorphosis. From the next session onwards, I will tell how to, how to emotionally metamorphosize in various conditions like anxiety, depression,